Okay. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? That's what I need to know. Another episode of Quiet Storm Sports right here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel had some technical difficulties just now. That was weird, right? That was weird. But we are here. We are here at this new episode of Quiet Storm Sports where we are going to cover the most recent Ravens versus Commanders joint practice. This and so much more here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Like the video.
You're watching Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe for more Ravens content. You're watching Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe for more Ravens content. You're watching Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe for more Ravens content.
Yes, sir. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with another episode of Quiet Storm Sports right here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. And today, we've got some news to cover, a lot of news to cover. This is a full recap of the Ravens versus Commanders joint practice on this beautiful Wednesday, August the 26th. Listen, if you're doing good out there, if you're feeling good out there, let me know in the chat, like the video, even if you're not feeling so good today. I hope your day gets better. I'm praying for you. I love you. I appreciate you for coming through and watching this stream, man. But we got a lot to get into. I see the emojis in the chat already. I see the live chat's already going crazy, doing digits. We love to see it. Listen, if you're part of the replay gang on this one, special salute to you. Special salute to you as always. Please be sure to drop your comments, thoughts, questions, concerns down below in that comment section. And don't forget, like the video if you want to support the channel. It's free. It helps us out a ton here. The season's rolling around. Alex and myself would greatly appreciate it. And if you are new, please consider subscribing. Again, my name is Sutton Def, and we cover all things Baltimore Ravens here on this channel. All right, let me give a shout out to who's here in the live chat first and foremost. Darlene is in here. What's going on, Darlene? Good evening to you. Afia is in the chat as well. She says she's ready for the bait clips. Hey, you know it's coming. It's on the way. Don't even worry about it, Afia. Replay gang, it's on the way. Make sure you tune into the video portion of this one. We got to see what my boy Rashad Bateman was doing. Okay. Let me see. Monty is in the chat as well. Bait was showing out. Yes, he was. Dylan, a member, is in the chat. What's going on, Dylan? Shout out to our members here. Always love for the members. Khalil Bowling in the chat says Bateman is cooking. That he is. Stretch is in the chat as well. Another member in the chat. What's going on, Stretch? Appreciate you for coming through. Void, another member. Silver Gang in the chat. Sharpie Gang in the chat. Don't play with him. What up, Void? Let me see what else. Glaucoma's in here. What up, Glaucoma? Glaucoma, my boy. Another member. Bucko Beezy, what's going on? You're Shelly Shell, good evening. Says, I'm eating, so I'll be listening. I've not eaten yet. Actually, you know what? My girl whipped me up some salmon earlier today. That was great. For dinner, I'll probably get seconds. What are you eating on, Shelly? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. I think I saw my guy Coach in here. Let me go back up here. Coach, Sip2 Tally Film. Shout out to Coach. Just reached 13,000 subscribers. Salute to him. Shout out to @Sip2 Tally Films. If you have not subscribed yet, you want to go somewhere where you get the best all 22 football coverage for these Ravens specifically, make sure you go and tune in to @Sip2 Tally Films and more Sip2 Tally Films. He's got 2 channels. Make sure you sub to them both. Okay. And shout out again to Coach for reaching that 13K. That's a huge milestone. Anytime you reach the next 1,000, you know what I'm saying? It's a huge milestone. Coach, you know how it goes. We've talked about it off camera before. Bo Knows in the chat as well. What's going on, Bo Knows? Big Tila's in the chat as well. Gold Gang. Gold member in the chat. What's going on? I see JD in the chat as well. Chef Trez is in here. What's going on, man? Bait better turn this preseason All-Pro into a regular season All-Pro. and he's got the Bait Hate book out. Listen, I need to see those Bait Hate books in the chat. If you are a member, you have access to the PRP emojis. Throw those Bait Hate books in the chat. Okay. They were slandering my boy. I mean, look, it was warranted. Not gonna lie, it was warranted. The slander was warranted. It was. I tweeted it right before I went live. I said, us Bateman supporters and believers and Void with the hate jewels. Bring them on, Void. Bring them on, Void. I ain't scared of them. But look, I was saying, us Bateman believers, we have been up on Rashad Bateman for 98% of training camp. 98%. Other 2% happened to come earlier this week. And I'm not going to get back into that because I covered that on yesterday's episode. You guys can go check that out if you want to. I cover the whole Bateman drama saga, if you will. I covered that on there. Anywho, yeah, my guy Bateman was cooking today. I see the Bait Hate books. Now let's see. So today, like I said, is going to be a full recap of the Ravens versus Commanders training camp that went down, the joint practice that went down today. It was very eventful, extremely eventful, probably the most eventful joint practice that we've had, because the ones against the Vikings last week, I'm not gonna lie, they were kind of, a defensive struggle, a little bit lackluster in terms of like the excitement department, if you catch my drift. But today was a lot more exciting, if you ask me, and for a couple reasons. And let me just preface everything that I'm going to say in this episode with this. Number one, I do feel like this defense, this 2026 Ravens defense, is going to be different. It is going to be diabolically difficult to play against this defense this year. Reason why is because look at what we did to the Eagles week 1 of preseason. You might say, oh, Sutton, it's just week 1. Everybody's kind of getting their feet wet. Eagles are playing their 3rd and 4th stringers. They're trying to figure out their new offensive coordinator. Cool. Week 2 against the Vikings. Only give up 3 points. Jesse Minter's defense gave up 10 total points in the first 2 weeks of preseason. 10 points. That's it. 10 points. And then today, they cap it off with another stellar defensive performance, against the Washington Commanders in the joint practice. They had the Washington Commanders in jail. Jaden Daniels in jail. Terry McLaurin in jail. Locked them up for the greater part of practice. Now, I'm not saying all that to say that the Commanders did not get any licks in on the Ravens, because they did. They definitely did. But for the most part, the Ravens dominated defensively today in practice. They did. Let me see. King Blaze in the chat. What's going on, King Blaze? Appreciate you for coming through. God's favorite in the chat as well. What's going on, God's favorite? Appreciate you for coming through as well. I see Chris is in the chat as well. My good sis, Chris. Even though she's a bully to me and me only. Shout out to Chris for coming through. K-Bar moving, another member in the chat, says salute good people. What's going on, K-Bar? And again, always for the replay gang, salute to you. Salute to the replay gang. We got Void celebrating 8 months of channel membership. Thank you so much for that, Void. Says, did Tyler Huntley make it out safely? You know how Jaden Daniels gets about that number 5. Oh, my goodness. Void, you know what's funny? I never liked the whole like clowning Jaden Daniels for the number 5 thing. I thought that the media took it way too far. Way too far. Now, like I always like to tell you guys, all conversations, all situations have nuance to them, right? Multiple things can always be true. And like I said with that whole situation, while I do think that Jaden Daniels was out of line for like really making a ruckus, causing a ruckus about getting his number 5 retired or not, or reused or not, I did think that that was a little bit tacky. But at the same time, I thought it was also tacky how everybody in the national media, I'm talking like social media pages for like huge companies, like huge fast food chains, huge, even sports franchises, right? Kind of making a mockery of Jaden Daniels for being upset about that number 5 being reused at LSU. I didn't like that. I didn't like that running joke. I didn't think it was cool. You know, again, multiple things can always be true. That's if there's anything that you'll take from watching this show and listening to me, I'll always be that voice of reason for you because, like, listen, again, I didn't think it was cool what he did. I don't think it was cool what the national media did. I don't. But that's a funny joke, though, Void. And thank you so much, Void, for celebrating this many 8 months of channel membership with us here. 8 months of channel membership. That's amazing. That is amazing. All right. Let me see. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive deep into this joint practice, shall we? Let's start here. So I'm going to read through some of the reports, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you some of my highlight plays from today. We'll start here. Run this little video while we read through this report here. So let's start with the health updates. Who did not practice today? Wide receiver Zay Flowers, second round rookie outside linebacker Zion Young, and cornerback Bilal Kone did not practice in Wednesday's joint practice. Mentor said the Ravens were being cautious with Flowers and Young. Mentor said, and I quote, "Nothing major. Both of those guys are dealing with some minor things. Looking out for their week 1 health versus today's health," Mentor said. Bilal Kone is battling for a place on the roster after missing the entire 2025 season with a knee injury. Mentor was unsure about Kone's availability for Friday's game. He's dealing with something small. Not sure if he'll make it to Friday, Mentor said. We'll see how that plays out. Talking about Bilal Kone again. So I want to stop right there really quick, right? So you guys can see in the title of the video, it says, is Zay Flowers hurt? Right? Is Zay Flowers hurt? And before we move on, we got a super chat donation. K-Bar moving, making it rain here. Making it rain here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Thank you so much, K-Bar moving, dropping the 5. What did he say? With Bateman being in the headlines, I have a feeling he's going to elevate his play because his name is out there. Keep my name in the book, though. See, yeah, I mean, look, K-Bar, I've been saying it. I don't know if you've been around, but I've been saying it. Outside of the kerfuffle that came out late last week and early this week, you know, a lot of bait haters out there, their tones have been softening. The base has been leaving their voices, the bait haters, that is. And each and every practice, he just kind of proves that, like, hey, look, man, I'm here to stay on this offense, right? So I understand, because, I mean, look, you don't got to tell me twice to keep you in the book. Your name is in the book, okay? And it's in ink. The ink is dry, by the way. So your name's in the book. I appreciate the 5, but I also agree with you. I do agree with you. I said this earlier. I think I said it maybe yesterday to Coach and them on the Ravens Roundup. That was a great episode, by the way. Check that out. But I said this to them. I said, I think Bateman will probably be playing with a lot more emotion. He's going to play with a lot more emotion because now his name is kind of in the limelight. And you might get this, like, bad guy bait / villainous era that Rashad Bateman really might embody. And he's the type of person to do it, by the way. He's the type of dude to, like, really, like, sit in a dark room and be like, oh, they want to talk about me? They don't even know the full situation. All right, cool, bet. Wait and see what I do at joint practice. Watch me route up these commanders, right? That's what I think is about to happen. But thank you so much for the 5K bar. Back to the report. So Zay Flowers, he has missed the past couple of days of training camp, right? And Jesse Minter describes it as something minor. It's nothing major. It's just looking out for their week 1 health versus today's health. Well, week 1 is about 18 days away from when I'm recording this video. About 18 days away. And to hear that Zay Flowers is missing practice for any reason, it's a little bit concerning. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I also can't be upset with a veteran like Zay Flowers is at this point in his career. I can't be mad at him getting a couple of rest days if he needs. Even if something is a little bit sore, even if something's a little bit nagging, let him rest. And the reason why I said it was concerning is because, like, in the Harbaugh days, this more than likely would have meant that there was a hidden injury of some sort. But in the Jesse Minter era, right? In the Jesse Minter era, where we know that he's a little bit more lenient when it comes to letting players get rest and things like that. He's a little bit more cautious with his players' bodies, right? So maybe it's just like a precautionary thing. Maybe it's just a precautionary thing where he's saying, yo, Zay, you said you were sore after yesterday's run or after yesterday's practice, last week's practice. Okay, cool. You're going to take 2 days off, okay? Maybe we'll keep you inside on the bike or something like that, but you're going to take 2 days off of practice. I already know what you can do. I already know what you're capable of, right? I don't need to see it. Just get wealthy. Get healthy. Speaking of wealth.
2 joint practices in a row with different teams. The other team media members said Bateman been the best offensive player on field. But we can't keep hating Bate.
Yes, sir. So Marcus Frazier dropping the 10-piece in the chat. Thank you so much, Marcus. Making it rain here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Shout out to him. Marcus dropping the 10-piece says 2 joint practices in a row with different teams. The other team media members said Bateman has been the best offensive player on the field. We can't keep hating Bate. Listen, man, a wise man, or maybe not so wise man, once told me that hate runs on Bate. And I believe that was a channel member. His name is Void. And I believe Void is in the chat right now. Void, let me know if that was you. I think people, Marcus, are going to continue to hate on Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman, half of this fan base this season is going to treat Rashad Bateman like the majority of the NFL media has treated Lamar Jackson over the course of his career. Let me explain. I think that if Rashad Bateman does well, if he goes out there and he's doing well, he's scoring touchdowns, he's getting some pretty good yardage. Lamar Jackson really seems to favor him as a target. It'll be quiet. It'll be hush. It'll be hush. But the moment Rashad Bateman drops a pass, the moment Rashad Bateman finishes a game with 2 catches for 19 yards, just a bad game, right? The moment that happens, it's going to be, I told you, see, get him off my team. He can't play. Y'all said he was doing all that in training camp. Get him off my team. He sucks. That's what it's going to be. Because you know how the national media has been with Lamar Jackson. He's so good. He's winning MVPs. And most of the national media, they're quiet. They're hush on him. But the second he, blows it in a playoff, throws a turnover in a playoff game or fumbles in a playoff game, it's like, oh, see, we told you he's not fit for this league. It's going to be one of those things. People want to confirm their biases based off of little things that they see here and there. It's going to be like that. But you're absolutely right, Marcus. You're right about this. Across 2 joint practices, he has been the best player on the field. The best receiver, that is, on the field. Right? So there it is. There it is. Thank you so much, Marcus. We also have another super chat from Christian. Christian dropping the $1.99 in the chat. Thank you so much, Christian. Says, Sutton on Bait. Want to know how I got these scars? Yeah, I mean, listen. Don't tempt me with my favorite movie character of all time. Don't do that, Christian. Thank you so much for the donation, though, brother. 131 people watching live right now. Thank y'all so much for coming through to this episode of Quiet Storm Sports right here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I am your host, Sutton Def. If you could, please hit that like button if you're in here and you're enjoying the content. Also, subscribe to the channel as well. And special shout out to the replay gang. Comment down below your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns on this episode, okay? All right. So, back to the happenings, okay? Back to the happenings. Oh, yeah, some more reports here. Back to the happenings of training camp. Let's read through. Let's see. So you had Lamar Jackson earlier today comparing Jacoby Lane to the likes of DeAndre Hopkins and Odell Beckham Jr., which was interesting to me. We've kind of known this. I mean, Lamar's kind of said these things before, but it really lets you into what Lamar Jackson is thinking about his young new target in Jacoby Lane and how he plans on using him. Because when he talks about like, oh, he's got reliable hands, he can catch almost anything, he's great at the catch point, his catch radius is huge. That tells me that translates into, yeah, I'm going to be throwing him the ball when he's one-on-one And even if he doesn't have a step, because a lot of people are talking about today how, Jacoby Lane, he can't get off the line. His releases are trash. They need work, which they do. That may be true. And I'm going to get to Jacoby Lane a little bit more in depth later. But Lamar Jackson telling you everything you need to know about what he feels about Jacoby Lane. He's going to be targeting this kid very frequently. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar Jackson was maybe an advocate for keeping Jacoby Lane sidelined after one quarter of football in that preseason game against the Vikings. I wouldn't even be surprised if he said, yeah, coach, I like that guy. I really want Zay, Bate, and Tez. So if we could just make sure that those guys are fully healthy going into the season, that'd be great, coach. Can we do that? Coach said, you know what, Lamar? I got you. Pull Jacoby Lane right up on out of there. Right up on out of there. Lamar Jackson said Jacoby Lane is an easy target. It's a big guy, like 6'4", 6'5", catches the ball with the best of them. Again, he compares him to OBJ and D-Hop. Moving on from that, Trey Hendrickson looks to be on the top of his game. Outside linebacker Trey Hendrickson would have registered several sacks at Wednesday's practice had they been in game conditions. Injuries limited Hendrickson to just 7 games and 4 sacks during his final season with the Bengals last year. But he had back-to-back seasons with 17.5 sacks in 23 and 24. That version of Hendrickson appears to be back, and his new teammates are impressed. Mark Andrews said there's a reason why he is who he is. It's just his ability to turn up and make plays, rush the passer, and do all the little things. He's an incredible player, a great guy in the locker room. Again, this is Mark Andrews speaking about Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson said he would not compare what he's done in previous seasons to what he expects to do in 2026, but he's excited about what the Ravens defense can accomplish. He says, and I quote, I want to be the best version of myself year in and year out, and I feel that I've done a great job with the strength staff here, all the way to my position coach putting me in the right positions to make plays. It has been fun to overcome adversity, and I am excited for the season. Exactly what you want to hear from Trey Hendrickson, man. In terms of like news and notes and things like that, I guess it's time for us to go ahead and dabble with that a little bit. Let's start with this. This was a little bit of ridiculousness here from the Ravens. Let's take a look at Kyle Hamilton, shall we? Let's take a look at Kyle Hamilton and Keandre Jackson making plays. So the defense was the most impressive thing to come out of today's joint practice for the Ravens. Here is quarterback JD5, Jaden Daniels, throwing it down the field. Perfect spiral, by the way. And then you have Kyle Hamilton. What is he doing here? Let me actually slow this down. It's going way too fast for my eyes. Look at Kyle Hamilton on this play. Climb the ladder. Look at this. Now, you could just say, oh, beautiful angle, beautiful camera angle there. But no, he absolutely climbs the ladder on some Victor Wembanyama stuff and makes this play. Now, my guy Nitro, you guys are familiar with Nitro at the Wonderkin Show. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him, putting out great content over there as well. But my guy Nitro responded to a tweet that I made earlier today when I said that this was like some Victor Wembanyama type stuff. And Nitro said, oh, but then he went and he dropped it, right? He didn't make the catch. And, shout out to Nitro, because if he did make this catch, then that'd be great. But like I told Nitro, if Kyle Hamilton came down with that football on that play, I would have purchased my Super Bowl ticket today. I would have purchased it in advance. A whole football season in advance if Kyle Hamilton ended up coming down with that football. But the fact that he even got up there and disrupted that passing lane, incredible athleticism by Kyle Hamilton. Now look at this. That was Exhibit A. Look at Exhibit B of this defense. Look at the safeties, the strong safeties playing extremely well. This is Keandre Jackson coming in with a left hook from hell and punching this football out of this Washington Commanders running back. Insane. Let's take another look at that. You talk about a fruit punch. He took a page out of that's like vintage 2019, 2020 Marlon Humphrey style punch out right there. Like, what are we talking about? These dudes are balling. Keandre Jackson, obviously going to make the team. right? Obviously going to make the team. But he is really challenging Jesse Minter, I think, to get on the field on Sundays and take meaningful snaps. I truly do believe that. I truly do believe that. Oh, who was it? Another interception. Look at Jaden Daniels trying to like thread the needle into the end zone here. Right in the hands of Kyle Hamilton.
If Lane is struggling to
and this is
get
what I
off
need to
the
see from
line
Kyle
with his
Hamilton.
releases,
I need to
why
see
not
more
give them
turnovers
reps at
forced by
gunner on
Kyle
special
Hamilton.
teams? I
His
think
turnover
that's what
numbers
they
have been
did
going
with
down
Tez a
year
few
by
years
year.
ago.
In case you didn't know.
Hashtag hate
That's a
runs
fact with
on
Kyle
bait.
Hamilton. I need to see more turnovers from him. And I'm glad to see that he's doing it in training camp, and he's hyped about it as well. He's super hyped about it. Another super chat donation. This one's coming from Chef Trez. Thank you so much dropping the 10-piece in the chat. Let's clap it up for him. Shout out to Chef Trez. Thank you so much, brothers. Chef says, if Lane is struggling to get off the line with his releases, why not give them reps at gunner on special teams? I think that's what they did with Tez a few years ago. Hashtag hate runs on bait. Oh, so maybe it was Chef Trez who said that and not Void. Maybe I got it mixed up. My fault. Or were you just repeating what I said? I don't know. I don't know. But no, that's a good idea, though. Give him reps at gunner on special teams. That'll definitely help you with your hands, right? Getting by guys. Honestly, Chef, I'll do you one better. I really hope that Jacoby Lane got Justin Jefferson's phone number last week. Am I right? I really hope that Jacoby Lane, before they left the Twin Cities Performance Center, whatever that is in Minnesota, where they had those 2 joint practices last week, I really hope that Jacoby Lane went up to Justin Jefferson and said, hey, look, big dog, let me get your number. Can I come through? Can we work out? Show me a few things. Because honestly, that's the only part of Jacoby Lane's game that's missing. The only part. Right? As a matter of fact, I do want to get to that. Jacoby Lane stuff. Let me actually go through this really quick and find it. Let me find it. Let's see. Because he had a couple of interesting reps today. Like one-on-one reps. Let me see if I can find these. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at Jacoby Lane's reps today. So he lost twice on his first couple of fades, right? He's running some fade routes one-on-one here. We're going to take a look here. Thank you so much, Chef, for the 10-piece in the chat. Again, salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. All right. So, yeah, I mean, okay, so look. This right off the bat, right? Right off the bat, you could tell he's not really fooling anybody with his release off the line. He's not fooling anybody. Like, and I think that's more so a product. So it's a gift and a curse having size like this, right? It's a gift and a curse because you can only have but so much wiggle the bigger you are, right? A lot of receivers who are like prime time receivers are those guys who are, like around that Jamar Chase, JSN, Amon-Ra St. Brown type of height. You know what I'm saying? Like that 6 foot to like 6'2" type of range, right? Maybe even like 5'11" to like 6'2", somewhere in there. You know what I mean? Those guys have a little bit lower of a center of gravity. They have the best of both worlds where they can kind of give you some really nice releases because of their agility, but they also have enough size to go above the rim and make plays at the catch point, right? That's what Rashad Bateman is. Rashad Bateman gives you the best of both worlds, right? And I'll keep letting this play. Rashad Bateman kind of gives you the best of both worlds because Rashad is like about 6'1", 6'2". He's got the height, but he's also giving you really good route running. He can beat you off the line. He can lose you off the line, right? So Bateman's really kind of the best of both worlds. Jacoby Lane gives you more so of just that one side, more so just like, like Megatron almost, right? Just a big body. Hey, look, if you find me downfield, one-on-one, throw it up to me, I'm going to go get it. That kind of guy. So no, his releases aren't going to look that clean. No, they're not going to look as fluid as a Justin Jefferson like we saw last week, as fluid as a Jamar Chase, as a Jackson Smith and Jigba, as an Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, guys like that. They're just not. That was his first fade matchup. I do also think this too, though. Like, a lot of these footballs that were thrown on this drill were not good balls. They weren't. Okay, they just weren't. Like, we got to understand that when Jacoby Lane gets outside leverage right here, you got to throw this ball to the back corner of the end zone. You got to put it high enough on the shelf to where the kids can't get it. Because guess what? 6 can. Okay, Jacoby Lane can go up and get that ball. You're throwing Jacoby Lane this ball like he's a 5'10 receiver. No. You're throwing it to him like he's going to come back to him. No, throw that ball near that back pylon. That's where that ball needs to go. Okay? Let's look at the second one. So here's the second rep. This is another one. See? This is another one that I feel like me personally, and you can disagree with me if you like to. That's fine. But me personally, I feel like you got to put this ball with Jacoby Lane and Jacoby Lane only. You got to put it up higher. Because look how much taller he is in the DB. Look how much height he has on the DB. If there's anything you take away from this tape going forward, if I'm Declan Doyle, right? If I'm Coach Izzy, the quarterback coach for the Ravens, I'm telling Lamar, hey, look at this. Take a look at this. You see how we're not putting that ball high enough into the outside enough to give him the biggest advantage over, like, on that ball? I need you to start doing that. I need you to throw that ball a little bit higher to the back of the end zone. Let's take a look at the third one. This one was apparently a rep that he won, but it was a bad ball. You can see on this one, okay, so look. This one, the difference is it looks like Jacoby Lane beat his man, but since the first two balls were a little bit short, they tried to overcompensate by putting this one to the back of the end zone. Right? And Jacoby Lane already had him beat, so he didn't need that. Like, he already had him, like, beat, you know? So I think it's just one of those things where you're going to have to get some reps, like, from quarterback to wide receiver here, and really kind of get some chemistry and, like, learn each other. You know, Lamar Jackson, Jacoby Lane. Lamar's got to know when he needs to put this ball. And I don't know if Lamar was the one throwing these footballs. I doubt he was. But Lamar needs to know exactly what Jacoby Lane is capable of and when and where to throw him the ball. That's what Lamar Jackson needs to know. Okay? Those are my thoughts on it. Let me see here. Read through some comments here. Shout out to the replay gang. Comment down below your thoughts on Jacoby Lane right now. Comment your thoughts down below in the comments on Jacoby Lane. What are you thinking? Those passes totally negate Jacoby's height advantage. That's what I'm saying, total 10 speed. That's what I'm saying. Make sure you guys like the video as well. 145 people watching right now. Thank you so much for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Okay. So, moving on from that, let's see here. We've talked about Jacoby Lane. We talked about Kyle Hamilton. Let's see. What else do we have? Justice Hill made a few plays today. That's good to know. Good to see. The defense, the pass rush, was really getting after it today too. Pass rush was getting after it. You had, I think it was Trey Hendrickson, who combined with Travis Jones and Trenton Simpson on a sack. Trenton Simpson's been looking good, right? He interviewed with the Ravens yesterday. He's looking good. Can't wait to see what Jesse Minter has him doing this season. Let's take a look at some one-on-ones, right? What I like to do is I like to take a look at some of the beat reporters from the Commanders. So you kind of get that unbiased, right? Kind of like opinions, right? In reporting. Let's take a look at some of these one-on-ones here. Commanders DBs versus Ravens wide receivers. First up, you have Jacoby Lane taking on Mike Sainristil. So here's what we were talking about. Right? When these NFL level defensive backs kind of get into the chest of Jacoby Lane, like what you see right here, and disrupt his timing off the line, like you can tell, like this is coached up. Hey, look, on this guy on number 6, what you don't want to let him do, like, because you're already giving up size to this guy, which is huge from a DB to a wide receiver. You're already giving up size. The last thing you want to give up is timing and positioning. That's the last thing you want to give up now. You can't afford to. So you have to jam this guy at the line, throw the timing off, and that's the only reason why this pass goes incomplete. Because if this pass is thrown to a Jacoby Lane whose timing is not disrupted on this route, he's coming down with it 11 times out of 10. This DB has no chance. If he does not throw off the timing to start the route, he has no chance of making a play on this ball. And Jacoby Lane would catch it. Okay? Who do we got next? Next is Robertson versus Bateman. Let's look at Bateman. Bateman inside leverage, cuts inside, comes back outside to the ball. Look at this drag here. Oh, my goodness. Easy money. Easy money. Bateman just routed that dude up. Routed him up. It was bad, too. Routed him up. Look, this is a guy who said y'all can't play, by the way. Y'all know who you are. And you think about it, look, Rashad Bateman is going to be playing out of the slot, running these type of routes all season long. Bateman's going to be running these type of routes all season, right? He's not going to be at the X all the time. That's what Jacoby Lane is for. That's what Jacoby Lane was in street clothes for in the second quarter of last preseason game. He's the new X, right? Bateman is your slot guy. Zay is your Z. That's what's going down here. That's what's going down. Elijah Surratt gets clamped. Unfortunate. Let's see that again. No separation. No separation on that play right there from Elijah. I'm not going to lie to you. Not an ounce of separation. Getting shadowed by the DB. Ball's right there. Beautiful pass break. Beautiful play by the defensive back here, by the way. But that move didn't fool anybody. Took away the outside leverage and just kind of little boyed him there. Gets the leverage there, but the timing's a little bit off. Got Tez Walker here. Nice route there. I mean, Tez Walker, Tez Walker on a deep route, on an intermediate to deep route, deadly. Deadly, right? Especially against zone coverage. Deadly. Find himself wide open for a touchdown 40 yards down the field. Wester kind of gets clamped right there. Great play by the DB. See, look at this. Throwing off Jacoby Lane's timing. This is the first one again. Yeah, so those are some one-on-ones for the Commanders DBs and the Ravens wide receivers, right? Let's take a look at a couple more here. Let's look at the Commanders linebackers and safeties versus the Ravens running backs and tight ends. So this first one, you got Sonny Styles going up against Matthew Hibner. Now, this is a big test for Matthew Hibner, right? I mean, Matthew Hibner is what, a 5th round pick? He's going up against a 1st round pick linebacker here. I mean, at the very least, he's got to expect to be going up against this caliber of talent when he's running his routes this season. Let's take a look. All right, inside leverage. It's outside, but Sonny Styles, just an athlete. Too much of an athlete. Sonny Styles, just too much of an athlete here. The way that he closes the distance is beautiful. It's disgusting, actually. The way that Sonny Styles closes the distance on Matthew Hibner here. Because Hibner actually gets good leverage outside. Look at that. He creates decent separations where, like, if the quarterback puts the ball right on him, he can possibly make this catch, right? If he throws it towards the sideline. But look, Sonny Styles, it doesn't matter. You see how far Sonny Styles is away from him now. Look how fast he closes. Closes that quickly, and now all of a sudden he's the receiver. He closed in an instant. That was crazy. That was insane, chat. That was insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was insane. Let's see what you guys are saying here. He's fast. He's fast as a mofo, man. He is. He is, man. I hope y'all not fighting in the chat. Please no fighting in the chat. Please, come on, y'all. Let's all love each other here. This is what we do in the Rain Gang chats, right? We love each other. Okay. Okay. All right. This is why you got to join the live chats if you're part of the replay gang. Let me see. Young brother says Sonny Styles with the jersey pull, veteran move. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, Sonny Styles, they said he was looking lost last couple weeks in training camp practice, but he looked damn good on this rep. Let's keep it moving. He became the receiver. Mark Andrews. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Just vet moves right here. Look at this. Had him at his mercy, too. Imagine getting routed up by Mark Andrews in year 10 or whatever it is. Wow. Wow. Just can't hold him. That was beautiful. Mark. I'm not going to lie. That's beautiful, Mark. That was beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see. Derrick Henry catching balls out of the backfield. Love to see that. By the way, can we get some more Derrick Henry in the passing game? Am I alone in that chat? Or could anybody else, does anybody else want to see Derrick Henry catch the ball more often? Because I don't know about you guys, but it did feel like last year when he caught the football, good things happened. Right? That's what it seemed like to me. Thank you for the jewels. Who sent those? Who sent the jewels? Eclectic Bistro Chef. Thank you for the high five, brother. Okay. All right. Let's see. What's going on, Dre? I see you in the chat. What up, my guy, Dre? Mark's route was so ugly, it confused the defender. I mean, he just had him at his mercy, man. He could have just like cut outside there, but I feel like the DB might have been able to recover, right? He might have been able to like shadow him a little bit better. Let me go back here. Look at Mark's route. But he loses him again on the second move. That's what I love the most about this route. Like he could have cut outside, like just straight cut outside here. He didn't even have to like stutter step, anything like that. But the fact that he sells that he's going to go back inside, but he goes back outside, like, and just loses the DB here. Beautiful stuff. That's like just veteran stuff, And I'm hoping he can bring that to this season. I do. We got a gifted membership in the chat. This one's coming from Stretch626. Thank you so much, Stretch. Let's clap it up for him. Gift in the membership in the chat here. Thank you so much, Stretch. Listen, if you become a member here at the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, you get a bunch of different perks, okay? You get a bunch of different perks. Of course, you get access to our exclusive giveaways. You also get chat badges. You get chat emojis as well. And you get to call into our members-only episodes, right? Our members-only call-in shows, which, by the way, is right now. That's right. You can call into the show right now and chop it up with your boy Sutton, if and only if you are a member of the channel. If you're a member of the channel, all you got to do is go onto our channel page, our channel homepage, click on the post tab, and the most recent post will give you a link to call into the show. If you're not a member and you do want to call into the show and get it off your chest about these Ravens, you can become a member. That post will show up for you. You can come through and chop it up with your boy. Thank you so much, Stretch, for dropping that membership in the chat. That's going to Chris Odom 3700. So shout out to you, Chris. You are now a member of the Purple Rain Gang family. Welcome. All right. Keep it moving here. What else did we have from this training camp practice? Antonio Williams from the Commanders. He kind of cooked here. So here he's seen getting the better of Kyle Hamilton. Just going to go route up the sideline. It's underthrown. He still comes back to it, adjusts well to the ball. Catches that one over Nate Wiggins. Ugh. That didn't look good either. Here's Nate trying to cover him again. Ooh, way to break that one up, Nate. But those first couple, though, those were nice. Those were nice. But you're not really asking Kyle Hamilton to cover a guy like that, like one-on-one and man, typically. So I'm not really worried about that. Nate Wiggins, on the other hand, I need to see Nate Wiggins be a little bit more locked down this year. I don't know if it's just me, but I need to see my boy be a little bit more locked down this year. Last year, I get it. The Zach Orr defense, right? I understand that totally. But I need to see it be a little bit more locked down this year, Nate. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Commanders O-line versus the Ravens D-line. Take a look at some of this here. Take a look at some of these. What do we got first? Brandon Coleman, Josh Connerly Jr., Matt Golbus, and Andrew Wiley reps here from the Commanders O-line. Got Trey Hendrickson. And see, here's what I like to see from Trey Hendrickson. We talk a lot about bend when it comes to edge rushers, right? The thing I like about guys like Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, when they bend around these tackles, they don't get too low to the point where they can just kind of get shoved into the ground and not be able to finish the play. This is something that I've said about Mike Green that kind of like irritates me a little bit about his game. It might be in this clip where what I'm saying is what you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. But here, Trey Hendrickson does a good job at staying upright enough, right, to where he's getting enough bend to where he's really putting the tackle in conflict here, but he's also keeping himself in great contention to get to the quarterback, right? A couple more reps here. I believe that was Tavius. Here's Mike Green, I believe. Mike Green there. Not a terrible rep. Just doesn't look like he's quite strong enough to really keep the tackle in conflict through his rushes around the edge. That's my only thing with Mike Green. He's got all the speed. He's got all the speed. It's just the strength that sometimes I question. Whoever that was got stonewalled. I think that might have been Jenkins. Here's Mike Green again. See, here's what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. Mike Green around the edge. Gets bend, but he gets too low, right? He gets so low to the point where the tackle just pushes him down, dirts him, buries him. Just buries him. But when he stays high enough, he doesn't quite have the strength to, again, keep that tackle in conflict enough until he can get to the quarterback. It's like Mike Green, he would probably he's going to get more shoestring sacks than anything. He's going to get more shoestring sacks than anything, Mike Green is. Which, hey, look, a sack is a sack. A sack is a sack is a sack is a sack. And I'm not complaining about it. But I'm just saying. Like, it just, for an outside linebacker, if you are not like Micah Parsons, right? If you're not like Dallas Turner, who was giving Ronnie Stanley fits last week in the Vikings joint practice, you got to be special, man. You got to be special because, you got to have size. If you're not going to be one of those guys, because Micah Parsons isn't the biggest rusher, edge rusher. Neither is Dallas Turner. Maybe a couple of other guys in the league as well. Aren't the biggest guys, but if you aren't big like that, you got to be special again. And I don't know if Mike Green has it, if he's going to pan out in this league, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay? We'll see. What are y'all saying here in the chat? Comment down below what your thoughts are on Mike Green. Mike is a speed guy who's deceptively strong. He is strong, but I need to see if he's NFL strong. I need to see if he's NFL strong. That's it. That's it. That's it. And we're gonna find out quick, fast, and in a hurry because the season is less than 3 weeks away, and I can't wait. Let's take a look at this real quick. Here's Lamar Jackson just casually catching the ball before practice. Look at this man. Look at him. Look at him. Like, look how easily he's just one-handing this ball. And these aren't just like floaters that are coming to him either. Like, they're coming in with a little bit of heat. And he's catching them with one hand, all cool, calm, and collected and casual like. I'll tell you, Bill Polian might have had he might have had a point. Bill Polian might have had a point. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm really kidding. Trust me, I'm kidding. You guys know I'm kidding. But look, I mean, this guy, I never really seen Lamar Jackson catch a football before. But this guy makes it look like he could easily line up on the outside if need be and catch some passes. I mean, hell, we've seen Lamar Jackson catch his own pass before. And if it hadn't been for a shoestring tackle, he might have taken that for a touchdown, which would have been the greatest football play of all time. Think about that. Lamar Jackson was a shoestring tackle away from making the greatest football play of all time. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about in that AFC Championship game. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like the video if you remember. Like the video if you remember. Or if you're watching on X, follow me. Shout out to everybody watching on X, by the way. But no, this guy's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He is phenomenal. Lamar about to snatch Bateman's chain. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Polian might have had a point. Hashtag Polian had a point. I'm telling you, look, I'm just saying. Just saying. But no, you guys see it. You guys see it. Chris says in the chat, man, I thought he was gone. Chris, the newest member in the chat. What's going on, Chris? I thought he was gone too, man. I'm so sad that he got caught on that play. Sick about it to this day, as a matter of fact. Sick about it. All right, let's move along here. What else do we have? Oh, I want to cover these Nike jerseys in a second. I want to cover those Nike jerseys. More Rashad Bateman for you. More Rashad Bateman for you. Oh, excuse me. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at my boy Bate, man. Drop the Bate Hate books in the chat for me. For the one time. Drop the Bate Hate books in the chat for me one time. Can we do that? Can we do that? All my members and members only. Drop the Bate Hate book in the chat. Look at this. Going outside. Oh, excuse me. I have a date with the end zone. Catch for a touchdown. Easy money. Rashad Bateman, man. I'm telling y'all. This is going to be the year. Void with some more hate jewels. It's all cool. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay? It's all good. I see the Bate Hate books in the chat. See? Where they at? Call them out. I was going over a few of the names earlier today. I don't have the Bate books. I don't have the Bate book right by me at the moment, unfortunately. I don't. I wish I did. But if anybody starts acting up too much and you're not in the book already that I know of, I will go get it and I will put you in the book. Okay, simple as that. Simple as that. Appreciate the bone jewel, the treat jewels. Mr. 205 Young Savage, another member in the chat. Shout out to you, brother. Okay. Mike with some more hate jewels as well. Is what it is. Is what it is. All good. All good. Let me see here. What else do we have? Elijah Surratt was getting locked up here on this one-on-one, unfortunately. He's getting locked up like Akon. Yeah, just no chance, really. Like, what was the route? Like, what was the route here? Like, were you not allowed to break outside? Like, it just... I'm really confused, you know, with how that one was supposed to look, right? I'm confused with how that one was supposed to look. More Rashad Bateman. More Rashad Bateman just absolutely frying, deep frying the Commanders' DBs. As a matter of fact, new saying. You didn't get cooked. You didn't get fried. You got baked. You got baked by bait. Baked by bait. All of the Commanders DBs today got baked by Bateman. All right, look at this. Who's covering him in the red zone? Who's covering that? And you know Lamar Jackson is looking for him. If you're throwing the ball within the 10-yard line, I'd say honestly, yeah, within the 10-yard line, maybe 8 just to be safe. If you're throwing the ball within that distance and you line up Rashad Bateman in the slot, he's going to uncover because you're worried about Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and Derrick Henry, who I'm sure is probably going to be on the field in obvious passing situations. So we're not so predictable this year. But Rashad Bateman is going to be open and he's going to be scoring. This is my point. He's going to be open. He's going to be scoring. Flossie, thank you for the sub. Thank you for joining the Rain Gang. Baked by Bateman. You heard me right. Bakeman. That's what I'm talking about, God's favorite. Take it a step further. Shout out to God's favorite. Bakeman. Rashad Bateman. Bait the Baker. Whatever you want to call him. Whatever you want to call him, man. He's doing numbers in training camp. We'll see if he can translate it into the season. We'll see. Right? But a lot of the it's a bad day to be a bait hater. Okay? It's a bad day to be a bait hater. I'll just say that. You showed the Surratt clip, but we got to watch Bateman on repeat and analyze frame by frame. Hey, look, if Surratt was out there cooking, I'd be showing that frame by frame too. I would. Y'all remember how, before the training camp started, before OTA started or anything like that. This was like post-draft and pre-OTAs and mini camp and stuff. I said that Elijah Surratt was going to be one of the better performing receivers in training camp. I thought that he was going to be further along than Jacoby Lane. And so far, that has not proven to be the case. Right? So if Elijah Surratt's out there making plays, of course, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to break it down piece by piece because that would have been confirming my bias from months ago. But I was wrong about that. And as you guys know, I'm never going to shy away from admitting when I'm wrong about something. I just don't. I don't like to stand on something that's clearly not true. That's clearly not, that doesn't have some sort of validity to it. A lot of you guys might say, oh, wow, can you stand on Rashad Bateman? Oh, 200 yards last season and only 4 touchdowns or whatever. How much, a lot of you guys will say that. But I'm a bait believer. I am. Okay. And I deserve this, honestly. Let me see. Moggs says, nah, go ahead and put me in that book for the term, Sut. I think you might already be in the book, Moggs. I feel like you've been talking crazy. I feel like you've been talking crazy, honestly. But I'm going to check. I'm going to keep a mental note of that. More hate jewels. All right. Here we go. What else do we have here from today's training camp? I believe that was about it that I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, that was about it that I wanted to show you guys from the training camp. So what I need you to do right here, right now, is drop it down below in the comment section. What were your biggest takeaways from today's joint practice between the Ravens and the Washington Commanders? I need to know. What was your good, bad, and ugly? What are your thoughts leaving this training camp? Another big thing that we heard coming out of this one was the offensive line did not look the greatest, right? They kind of looked average. They looked bang average today. Because it was funny because you had the Ravens beat reporters reporting one thing saying that, oh, the offensive line, it needs work. It's not where it needs to be. But then on the other hand, you had the Washington Commanders beat reporters reporting that the Commanders couldn't get any pressure. Lamar Jackson was comfortable in the pocket, right? So you really just didn't know what to believe. But I'll take it as this. The O-line is still trying to gel, right? This is probably only their third practice, I would say. Getting like some live type of reps next to who they're going to be starting with when the season comes. And I said it in the video that I posted earlier. Make sure you go check that out after this. That if there's any time that you want your offensive line to be like struggling and going through growing pains and things like that, it's in August. It's in August. It's in August. You want them to start peaking around September and then October and, going into those colder months. So it's a work in process. It's a work in progress, I'd say. It is a work in progress, the offensive line. Do you think that linebacker Reed Williford was cut today to make room for the linebacker they just signed or for someone on the defensive line? I know they just signed Michael Barrett, I want to say. I think it's tough because it could be somebody on the defensive line or it could be somebody in that linebacker room as well. Right? I just don't know. I don't know if they really like DeLuca. I don't know if they really like Burke enough to, I don't know if they really like Benny enough to keep him on the 53. Maybe they're moving around some pieces just to maybe get one of those guys in. I'm really not sure. We'll have to wait and see. The Ravens do have their work cut out for them in terms of getting the roster down to 53 men on Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. All right. You guys are crazy in the chat. Sutton's the type to go home and drink right out of the gallon of juice. Joke's on you, Christian. I don't even drink juice. Yeah, all water over here for me. And alcohol, especially on our happy hour Fridays. Either one or the other. Okay. Let me go ahead and get into some other things from today that I wanted to bring up here on this episode. Number one, some sad news. We gotta give an obituary. You know what I'm saying? We gotta host a funeral because unfortunately, and also kind of fortunately, the NFL has decided to do away with the Pro Bowl games. Okay, they decided to do away with the Pro Bowl games. And this is news that just came out. It literally just broke not too long ago, actually. Maybe about an hour ago, right before I went live, this news broke. And it kind of like shocked me. Because I didn't think that it was really on the NFL's radar to end this. I get it. The product's been ass for the last, decade and a half, really, right? Like Pro Bowls are no longer competitive. They haven't been competitive in years, probably since like the early 2010s, I'd say. They have not been competitive in years. They haven't been fun to look at in years. All the guys just go out there and do is just goof around. They went from being in pads to certain years they were in flag. They were doing flag football. So it was really just like, what's the point? I remember growing up, the Pro Bowl was everything. Week before the Super Bowl, whoever didn't make the Super Bowl, you had star-studded lineups. I'm talking Peyton Manning, starting quarterback, backed up by Ben Roethlisberger, and then Phillip Rivers. And on the other side, you had guys like Brett Favre, and you had Aaron Rodgers, and then you had a bunch of different guys, right? Drew Brees, all the like, right? And they would be competitive all game long, from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. They'd be out there hitting, right? The most iconic hit in the Pro Bowl, I believe, to me, came from Sean Taylor. Rest in peace, his soul. But yeah, man, it used to be way more physical. It used to be football. And at some point down the line, it stopped being football. And I think that it's kind of like a byproduct of athletes nowadays being more liberated, I guess you could say. Athletes nowadays, they have more say-so in what they do as athletes, right? Back in the day, it was just like, okay, you're in the NFL or you're in the NBA. You're going to be in the All-Star game, and when you're in the All-Star game, you are expected to play your ass off just like you're playing your ass off in these regular season games and these playoff games. Why? Because the fans paid to see it. Don't give a crap about your feelings. Don't give a crap about, you staying healthy for the rest of the season. Go out there and help us hit our bottom line. But now athletes have pushed back, and it's no longer the shut up and dribble sort of mindset. You know what I mean? Now athletes can kind of speak their mind and say, you know what? No, I'm not going to put my body in harm's way and risk a huge contract that I'm, on the mend for in just a couple of months or a couple of years. I'm not going to put my body on the line for a meaningless game that all it does is line your pockets. When I say your, I mean you NFL, you NBA. And I get nothing for it. Or I get, maybe like extra couple $1,000 or a car that I don't need or something like that. Something stupid like that. So the players are able to like kind of step up and speak for themselves. And ever since they decided they weren't playing in these games, ever since they decided that they were not going to go 100% in these games or just play at all, that was the beginning of the end for these kind of auxiliary games that the league has, these ceremonial games that these leagues have. So the NFL's first here, they're saying that they will no longer have the Pro Bowl games. The focus now will shift to celebrating the honor of being a Pro Bowl selection. So you're still going to, and it's so weird, right? That's so weird, isn't it? So if you get elected to the Pro Bowl, you're still a Pro Bowler. There's just no game to go with it. So what's the difference? I think honestly, this demeans, right, the value of being a Pro Bowler. It does to me. Let me know what you think down below in the chat, in the comments. But this really demeans what it means to be a Pro Bowler. Because this doesn't hold any weight. It already didn't hold weight. But at least we can see you go out there and compete next to all of the other best players in the world, or best players, right? Whoever they so chose that year. It really just feels like a big participation trophy. It does. I'm sorry, so what's the difference going to be between a Pro Bowl selection and an All-Pro? And can players who are going to the Super Bowl, can they, even if they're not going to technically be available for Pro Bowl weekend, are they still Pro Bowlers? Again, it's weird. I don't get it. I don't like it. But I do understand that the Pro Bowl, it needed to, it probably needed to go. Ashley, good evening. She says, hey, beautiful people. What's up, Ashley? Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, talking about juice in the chat. Oh, I started something. Oh, crap. So it's just going to be an award show. Basically, it's going to be just an award show. Oh, you guys are really talking about juice in the live chat. That's funny. Cohere Multimedia says, question, why does Hakeem Butler thrive in the UFL but constantly gets cut in the NFL? 65227. Like my guys from LBHT always say, size is not a skill. Size is not a skill. You can use size to your advantage, but you have to have skill to do that. And some guys are just big for no reason, right? Some guys are big with a little bit of athleticism, right? But at the NFL level, you got to be able to put that together and then some. It takes way more than just being a big guy. A big, fast guy even, too. Okay. Now let's take a look at some of these. And by the way, Frank, what up? Another member in the chat says, hey, Sutton in chat. What's going on, Frank? Again, another shout out to the replay gang as well. Let's take a look at some of these jerseys, these new jerseys that came out, right? NFL rivalries. 2026 helmets dropped yesterday. NFL and Nike have new helmets for the NFC South and the AFC South. So all of our Southern teams. And just going through these helmets really quick. If I had to pick out one that's my favorite, by the way, Minnesota Vikings, what are you doing? Respectfully, what are you doing? The Minnesota Vikings, they need to come up off them colors. I'll say that because it's just too close. It's just too close. It's too close for comfort. If I didn't know any better, I would think that those are our Purple Rising helmets. Like dead ass. It's almost like Nike just copied and pasted. Right? They just copied and pasted the Ravens helmet to the Vikings. They switched the logos and they called it a day. The Green Bay Packers helmet, that does look clean. I like the all white with the green G. I like that. That's clean. That's clean. Carolina Panthers, that's also clean. Bears is clean. I like that. Houston, I'm not really a big fan of the Houston helmets. I'm not a big fan of the Houston helmet. Colts is clean. Kind of what I expected. Jags, I felt like they could have gone in a different direction. I'd like to see a new black Jags helmet. I would. Titans, I'm not a fan, only because I'm not a fan of the new Titans logo at all whatsoever. You know, I know the league is moving more towards like minimalistic logos so they can save money on screen printing and merch and stuff like that because the NFL is greedy as hell. But no, I ain't rewarding that. I don't like the Titans one. I don't like that. Let's take a look at some of these actual jerseys here. I do want to give a shout out to the NFL for doing a great job with the photo shoot for these jerseys. The Green Bay jerseys, they look sweet. These look amazing. It makes it look like, you know, they're playing in the 1930s again. And no, I would never like to go back to that time. But these are very nice jerseys. And it makes it look very old school and classy and stuff like that. And again, shout out to the photographer for the NFL. They did a great job with all of these jerseys here. Let me know down below in the chat and comments which ones are your favorites. I'd love to know. Moving on here, you got the Colts and Sauce Gardner rocking their new threads. It's giving Lions. It's giving Detroit Lions to me. If the Lions played the Colts, I don't know what they would do. You know what I mean? Right? Like I don't know. I'd give them maybe like a 5 out of 10. I give them like a 5 out of 10. The Packers, I'm giving them a 9 out of 10. Colts, I give them a 5. Jaguars, I didn't like the helmets. The jerseys are pretty clean though. Okay, the jerseys are pretty clean. I can't lie. They're going to be wearing them week 8 versus the Colts, apparently. I like the jerseys. I'll give the jerseys for the Jags a 7. I'll give them a 7. Helmets I can do without, though. I can definitely do without those helmets. Moving on. Titans jerseys. Okay. Music City. I like the Music City on the front. I do. I think that's hard. And I do like how these numbers are kind of like popping off the screen a little bit. You guys notice that? Those of you guys who are watching on your big screen TVs and stuff. You guys can see that? I do like that. It's like 3D, like popping off the jersey. I'll give these an 8. Valiant effort on the jerseys from Nike for the Titans. Again, I don't like the helmets, though. The helmets were trash. Helmets were pretty trash. But I'll give that an 8. All right, Vikings. These are looking, I mean, again, I thought the helmets were pretty copycat from the Ravens, but these jerseys here, you know, I'm liking these. You got Randy Moss. Again, photographers did a great job with this photo shoot. I love the way this photo is edited. And that's just me as a photography nerd. I love the way this photo is edited, though. Super clean, looks vintage. This whole shoot, the theme is like vintage, you know, but these Vikings jerseys are clean. I can't lie to you. The gold on the numbering rate. Oh my goodness, man. That is divine. I'll give these a 9 as well. Packers and Vikings so far got the best ones. Best ones so far. Let's go to the H. Okay. By the H, for the H. Houston Texans jerseys. And you got, who's this? Nico Collins. Listen. These jerseys are very nice. I love these jerseys. I didn't like the helmets, but these jerseys are super clean. Super fire. Okay, super fire. I'd give them, I mean, I don't think that they're quite as nice as the Vikings or Packers. So I'll give it an 8. I'm going to put it on the same level as the Titans. I'm going to give them an 8. I think overall Nike did a good job with these jerseys. I do. I'll give these an 8 though. Let me see. And we don't get ours until 2028, says Afia. And we just got new jerseys though. I can't even be mad. We just got new jerseys. I can't even be mad. All right, let's see. What else we got? So I'll give Houston an 8. What else? Chicago Bears. All right, Chicago. Let's see what you got. Get a nice picture here. But See, with the Bears, I think I like the helmet more than I do the jersey. I get where they're going with the jersey, and it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. But it feels like there's something missing from it. It feels like there's something missing on the front. Right? I'd probably give these about a 6. Because I get, again, I see the vision. I just don't think that they executed it all the way. I see the vision, though. I think that was about it. Yeah, that was about it. So, Detroit Lions. Mid. Mid, right? But, yeah. I thought overall they did a pretty good job with those. I saw somebody mention Caleb Williams. What Caleb Williams do? Caleb Williams. What's Caleb up to? Oh, what? Wait, hold on. What is going on? Chat, what is on my screen right now? What is going on right now, chat? Is this what Caleb... Imagine being a Chicago Bears fan. Just imagine for 2 seconds being a Chicago Bears fan right now. The secondhand embarrassment that I would get from watching my QB1 do this in front of the whole world to see. I mean, brother, you're already not beating the allegations with the painted fingernails and the crying on the sidelines and all this and that. But now you would, I mean, who told you to do? When have you ever taken that shot? Matter of fact, don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. Caleb Williams, 1,000 lashes. 1,000 lashes for you, Caleb. 1,000. Because what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? This is AI? Okay. Jeez, okay. Thank God. See, they don't... Look, man. Look, chat. They done got unstressed over here, man. They done unstretched. Stressed. And why is everybody posting it? So the Bears posted this. So did they take it from this or something? AI is crazy. I don't care. He still looks zesty. This is the official Bears page. He still looks zesty. I don't care. Because, like, bro, all right. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Let me get out of here. Look, dog, one more thing. I'm not messing with y'all, man. One more thing I want to show y'all before I get out of here. We were talking about the jerseys, right? So Nike's also dropping a line of Air Max 90s. They're dropping a line of Air Max 90s, right? To go along with these jerseys. And here they are right here on screen. I do want to let me see. Y'all are crazy. Yeah, that was the original, right? Still crazy. That's still crazy. Like, come on. Miss Fancy Pants, what up? I see you. Oh, man. That was funny. All right. But again, these Air Max 90s, Nike is dropping alongside these jerseys. Some of these are actually very fire. Okay. I think that, again, I don't know what it is about the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, their colorway is just like perfect. Like green and yellow is so perfect together. Like this dark blue and orange, perfect together for the Bears, right? And these shoes are perfect with it. I mean, which pair do you think is the most fire out of all these? I want to know. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the comments. From most to least fire, I'd probably say Packers number 1, Bears number 2. I'm gonna actually go Titans number 3. Those Titans Air Maxes, I would rock those. Those are actually very clean. I'm gonna go Titans number 3. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Vikings number 4, Jaguars number 5. I'm gonna go Texans number 6, Lions 7, and Colts 8. That would be my order for how fire these are. That would be my order. Let me know what yours is in the comment section down below. The Houston ones are nice. Jack, thank you for the sub. Jack Dimner, thank you for the sub, brother. Let's see. Air Max are some of the most comfortable sneakers. I actually don't own a pair of Air Maxes, or at least I haven't in a long time. I used to back in like high school, but I haven't owned a pair in a long time. Maybe if they come out with some ones for the Ravens, maybe I'll cop up on some. ISO says I'm a New Balance type of guy. Me too. Me too. But Gordy says in the chat, says what you got in rotation right now. Right now, what do I have in rotation? I have these because I wear a lot of like workout shoes and running shoes. I have these Asics that I really like that I just bought. Well, actually, I didn't buy them. My girl bought them for me. Shout out to her. Love her. But some Asics I've been wearing a lot. Those are super comfortable. These Nike Vomeros, I've been wearing those a lot recently as well. I'm a big fan of the Saucony brand. Saucony, however you pronounce that. Old school brand, but I'm a big fan of them too. So rocking those. And then also, what else? Other than that, man, to be honest with you, I be in my Crocs. I be in my Crocs, man. I be moving and grooving in my Crocs. That's how I do. I'm not as big into sneakers as I used to be. But maybe one day I'll get back into being a little sneakerhead, right? Maybe one day. But okay. Let's go ahead and get into some member calls. We got somebody backstage right now. Let's go ahead and bring them up on screen. Let's transition over here. And let's go ahead and introduce my guy, King Lee, who's joining us. What's going on, King Lee? How you doing, man? You good? I can't hear you. Are you muted? For some reason. Oh, I heard like some yelling. I heard some screaming in the background. I don't know. For some reason, I can't hear your voice. Chat, let me know if you can hear King Lee, his voice. It says muted. Vaughn says muted. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. Okay, he dropped out. Let's see if he comes back. Okay, that was my guy, King Lee. Let me give him a second to get back in here. Crocs, my go-to. I love my Crocs. Me too, man. Tila said, kids always wait until you get on. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna give him a chance to get back in here so he can give his takes. Let me read through the comments here, the chat here in the meantime. My Jordans are collecting dust from my work boots. That's how it be. That's how it be as an adult, man. Sports mode though, right? Safety first. I normally don't go sports mode on my Crocs. I normally just keep them in. I don't normally have a reason to put them in sports mode. Like unless I'm like running, like why would I need to run in my Crocs? If I'm in my Crocs, I'm doing something chill. I'm at the grocery store. You feel me? Like I'm taking the dog for a walk, right? I'm not doing a whole lot of running or nothing like that. Only time I would put on, the last time I put my Crocs in sport mode, when I was at the beach with friends. And of course, I brought my Crocs out there. And there was a basketball court nearby. And the guys were like, hey, let's play some ball. And I was like, I don't got no shoes, but I got these Crocs, right? And I had like a couple shots of tequila. And I thought it was a great idea to get out there and play basketball in Crocs in sport mode. I mean, fine, this is sport mode, right? Damn near twisted my ankle. Had me out of commission for about 3-4 days. All good though. Happens. Right? Saucony. Is that how you pronounce it? Saucony. I didn't know that. Vomero's the gym shoes for sure. Air Force One and Dunks. I got a few J's. I haven't gotten a pair of J's since high school, but when I did used to get them, my favorites, I had the Bread 11s, probably my favorite pair of all time. My Metallic 5s, had the Last Shot 14s, Raptor 7s. I used to love Jordans. I did. I did. They're not basketball shoes. I know the Crocs aren't basketball shoes, but when the boys want to play, the boys want to play. Almost fumbled on the word Crocs. Should have been crazy. Moggs, you caught that? See, I can't be messing up too much. I can't be messing up like too much with my speech on here because y'all will take one word that I say and then for the next couple weeks I'm seeing it in the chat. It'd be like that. I mean, I get it. It's whatever. It's cool. Hey, Heather. Good evening. And good evening, good afternoon, or good morning to you, Replay Gang, whenever you might be listening to this. Thank you for sticking around this far into the episode. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We've been on live for an hour and a half here. And again, thank y'all so much for coming through and chopping it up with me here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Make sure you drop it down below in the comment section how you felt about Ravens Commanders joint practice, okay? Tila, don't do that. I see you in the chat. Don't do that. All right, but we will be back tomorrow for the main pod, me and Alex covering this team and getting you ready for Friday's matchup against the Commanders. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And please be sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
You're watching Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe for more Ravens content.